Good morning, children. How is it going with you all? I hope that things are going very well at your end. And today you are excited to be in the English class. Isn't that true, children? Very good. Now, children, in our today's class, let's learn a new lesson. Okay? The title of the lesson, which I am not going to reveal. Instead, using the two clues given by me, you will have to find out the title. Okay? So, are you up for the challenge, kids? Wonderful! Children, listen to me carefully. Here is your first clue. In third class, you had learned about question words. You learned that there are 9 question words in English language. We use these 9 question words in order to frame questions. These question words are also known as WH words. Now, why do we call them WH words? These question words are called as WH words because 8 out of the 9 question words begin with the letters W and H. Okay. The 9 question words in English language are who, which, whose, what, when, where, yes, why, whom, and finally how. Okay? So these are the 9 question words in English language. Children, the title of our today's lesson is one of these question words. So pay attention, children, and try to find out the title by observing my action. Okay? So look here, children. This is your second clue. Children, I am waiting for your response. Very good, children. You have guessed it right. The question word is why. I must tell you, children, you all have keen observation. This is a very good quality. Keep it up, children. Now, coming back to the title of our today's lesson, the title of our lesson is why. W-H-Y is why. The title, the lesson why, is a poem. But we have no information as to who has written the poem why. So that leaves you with one less point to learn. Okay? Children, whenever I use the question word why, I am reminded of an interesting incident that happened to me 10 years back. My cousin's 4-year-old son had come to visit me. He was in my house for one day. His name is Ram. Ram expected me to take him to the park as well as for a movie. But unfortunately, that day there was a solar eclipse or Surya Grahan. So we had to cancel our plan. Poor boy at least wanted to go out and play. But I stopped him because of the solar eclipse. With nothing better to do within the house, he roamed around me, he circled me and started asking questions. You won't believe, children, he must have asked around 1,000 questions that one day. And all of his questions began with the question word why. Children, don't you want to know a few questions asked by him to me? The first question he asked me was, Auntie, why is it that we should not look at the sun during a solar eclipse? Now, I knew the reason why he was asking me this question. When he wanted to look at the sun, I had stopped him. So now he wants to know why I had stopped him. So I told him, Dear Ram, during a solar eclipse, the sun might be hidden, but still the harmful rays of the sun are there. Those are very powerful. So if you look at the sun with your bare eyes, these harmful rays can damage your eyes. So it is not at all advisable to look at the sun during a solar eclipse. Okay, but you won't believe, children, before I could complete the answer, he started with the second question, and that again began with the question word why. He asked me, Auntie, why can't we touch the sun? Now I was baffled what to tell him. I thought for a while and then told him, Ram, sun is a star which is very far away from the earth, so we will not be able to touch it. And even if earth was closer to sun, we wouldn't be able to touch it because sun is a red hot burning ball. And before even we could go near the sun, we would be burned to death. And then immediately came his third question. Why can't we go out in the dark to play? So I told him, Ram, our eyes cannot see in dark, isn't it? So if you go out to play in darkness, there might be many things around which our eyes cannot see. So you might stumble upon them and fall. There is a chance of you getting hurt, isn't it? So it is not at all good to go out to play in dark. So similarly, he asked me so many questions, children, and I must tell you, after a point, I was very annoyed. But I realized one thing, children, that Ram is a curious boy, which is a very good habit. He was asking all these questions just to know or learn about his surroundings. So he is curious or eager or inquisitive by nature. In the poem Why, you will come across a boy just like Ram. The boy in the poem is also curious. He is eager to know about the things around him. So he also keeps asking so many questions, and all of these questions start with the question word why. Now children, let me read out the poem to you, okay? Please take your English textbook and go to page number 60. Let me also grab my textbook. Are you ready, children? While I read the poem, I want you to look into the book and read along with me in your mind. Okay? Let's start. Why? I know a curious little boy who is always asking why. Why this, why that, why then, why now, why not, why by the by? He wants to know why wood should swim, why lead and marble sing, why sun should shine and wind should blow, and why we eat and drink. He wants to know what makes the clouds and why they cross the sky, why sings the sun behind the hills, and why the flowers die. Some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you'll try. Others no one ever yet has found the reason why. This is a beautiful poem, isn't it, children? Don't you agree with me? Yes, of course. Now, to understand this poem, please watch this video. Hello, children. Today, let's learn a new lesson. The title of the lesson is Why? The lesson Why is a poem. The poet of the poem Why is unknown to us. But after you have read the poem, I am sure you would wish to have known the poet. So children, without wasting much time, let's get started with our today's lesson. I know a curious little boy who is always asking why. Why this, why that, why then, why now? Why not, why by the by? He wants to know why wood should swim. Why lead and marble sink. Why sun should shine and wind should blow. Why we eat and drink. He wants to know what makes the clouds. And why they cross the sky. Why sings the sun behind the hills? And why the flowers die? Some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you'll try. Others no one ever yet has found the reason why. Now children, let's discuss the poem in detail. Stanza 1. I know a curious little boy who is always asking why. Why this, why that, why then, why now? Why not, why by the by? Explanation to stanza 1. In the poem Why, the poet says that he knows a little boy who is curious or eager to know about the things that are around him. So the boy keeps asking questions about each and everything that he comes across in nature. He poses various questions like why this, why that, why then, why now, and many more such questions. So here the kid tries to understand his surroundings by asking questions. So in this poem, children, we have a boy who is very eager or inquisitive. By asking various questions, he tries to understand how nature works. He wants to know how each and everything in nature and around us work so that he can understand it better. Now children, let's move on to second stanza. He wants to know why wood should swim, why lead and marble sing, why sun should shine and wind should blow, and why we eat and drink. Explanation to stanza 2. In this stanza, the poet describes the types of questions asked by the boy. The boy is curious to know why wood floats in water whereas lead or marble sink in it. Furthermore, he is eager to know why the sun has to shine and why the wind has to blow. He also wonders the reason why humans eat food and drink water. These questions asked by the boy throw light into the keen sense of observation that the boy has got. So in the second stanza, the poet gives us some examples of the types of questions asked by the boy. We already know that he is inquisitive or curious by nature. He wants to know why wood floats in water and why marble and lead sink in water. He is also eager to know why sun shines and why wind blows. He also wants to know why humans eat food and drink water. These questions asked by the boy give us an insight into his curious mind. He is a clever and curious boy
who wants to know the scientific reason why things happen around us. He does not want to accept things just like that. Children, let's now check out the third stanza. Stanza 3. He wants to know what makes the clouds and why they cross the sky. Why sinks the sun behind the hills and why the flowers die? Explanation to stanza 3. In this stanza also, the poet gives us some more examples of the types of questions asked by the boy. The boy looks at the sky and wonders what clouds are made up of. He also wants to know why the clouds move or float in the sky. Looking at the setting sun, the boy is eager to know as to why the sun must sink or set behind the hills. He wants to know why beautiful flowers have to die by evening when the sun sets. Children, in stanza 3, the poet gives us some more questions asked by the boy. The boy is curious to know what clouds are made up of. He wants to know why the clouds move or float in the sky. He also wonders why sun must set behind the hills and why beautiful flowers in the garden must die after the sun sets. So these questions asked by the boy establish the fact that he is inquisitive or curious by nature. He is a clever boy who wants to know why things happen around us. We also understand that he has got a keen sense of observation. And in an attempt to understand the nature around him, he tries to ask questions. Let's now check out the fourth and the final stanza. Stanza 4. Some of these whys are not too hard to answer if you'll try. Others no one ever yet has found the reason why. Explanation to stanza 4. In the last stanza, the poet says that some of the questions asked by the boy are not too hard or difficult to answer. But there are also some questions which we might find difficult to answer. The reason for this is no one has ever tried to find the answers for certain things or phenomenon. We just take certain things for granted. We have considered them to be facts and accepted them without questioning. This is the difference between children and adults. Kids are inquisitive by nature, whereas adults are not. In the last stanza, the poet concludes by saying that most of the questions asked by the kid are not difficult or hard to answer, because we have got proper scientific explanation for those questions. But there are certain questions which cannot be answered because we have taken them for granted. These are facts which we have accepted without questioning. One such example for this type of question is why the sun sinks behind the hills. Here, the poet also shows us the difference between children and adults. Children by nature are very curious, whereas adults have the tendency to accept things. They take things for granted without questioning them. The poem Why also explains how we can understand things around us by asking questions. So it is very good to have a curious or inquisitive mind. So children, hold on to your curiosity, for this will help you learn many things and in future help you in achieving success. With this note, I wind up my explanation to the poem Why. Let's now proceed to learn the new words of the poem Why. The first new word that we came across in the poem Why is curious, and it means eager to know. In the gift that is given here, you will find Jerry curious. He is curious or eager to know if Tom is hiding somewhere to catch him. Children, using the word curious, I have framed the sentence. Jerry is curious to know if Tom is hiding somewhere to catch him. Our next new word is lead, and it means a metal that is heavy and sinks in water. Children, on the screen you will find the picture of lead. Using the word lead, I have framed the sentence. Lead is used in pencils. So the dark nib which you find in your pencils is lead. In this poem, lead is used to refer to any metal that is heavy. The third new word we have here is marble, and it means a stone that is used for flooring. I'm sure, children, this is not a new word for you because most of us have houses with marble flooring, isn't it? In the picture that is given on the screen, you will find a floor laid with white marbles. Children, with this word, I have framed the sentence. My house has marble flooring. Our fourth new word is sink, and it means go down below the surface of water. Displayed here on the screen is a gift where you will find a metal ball sinking in water because it is heavy. So here the word sink means to go down below the surface of water. Here is the sentence which I have framed using the word sink. Lead and marble sink in water as they are heavy. Our last new word is reason, and it means the cause of an action. Children, you must have noticed that I have used the same GIF here. In the poem Why, the curious little boy wanted to know the reason or the cause as to why lead and marble sink in water. And we know the reason why lead and marble sink in water, isn't it, children? Lead and marble sink in water because they are heavy. Using the word reason, I have framed the sentence. I wanted to know the reason as to why lead sinks in water. So children, in this video, we have discussed the poem Why, the new words from the poem, its meanings and usage. I hope you understood the poem, children. Now, please learn the poem and record your recitations and post it to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay? Thank you for joining me, children. Bye-bye.